Welcome to Mirror Lake State Park. I'm going to take you on a tour of the 3 sections of campground that they have here, and then I will show you a little bit of the trails and even attempt to ride my bike around here. So Mirror Lake Campground is just across the interstate from Wisconsin Dells. So it's just outside of the Wisconsin Dells. Very easy to get to and access all that the Dells have to offer. Right at the beginning of the campground, or as you're exiting at the very end of the exit, are the dump stations and water pump fill-up spots. The first campground we're going to visit is the Blue Water Bay Campground. It is several different loops heading down the hill, so we're going to go see what those are like. Off on the right is a camp host and the group campgrounds. And right away we hit sites 1 through 15. Alright, let's take a look at these sites. They are nicely wooded. No electric up here. Fair size. Sort of medium-sized sites. They're not monstrous. They're not tiny, and they're not crammed together. There is room between sites. Got a little overflow parking here. I'm at site 3 and 4 right now. Someone fit in some hammocks there. 5 on my left, 6 on my right. These are full, so I'm not going to point the camera into them. Now we're getting down to 7. Kind of see into there. It's kind of a gravelly one on the edge of a hill, but it is kind of alone because it's on a hill. And then 8, there's nobody on the left side. Looking a little gravelly, depending on what kind of camping you're doing. 10 on the right, or 9 on the right. Then 10 on the left. We're back to having things on the inside circle. Got a pop-up on my right. You can see 12 here, fire ring and table and room to park and have a tent. 13 on my right, 14 on the left, and 15, and that is the first loop. As we come out of this first loop, between the first and the second loop are the showers. So we have a shower building here, also shared with a group campsite, and then we'll go down and take a look at the second loop. Second loop is sites 16 through 30. Let's go see what those are like. Looks fairly similar to the last group. Got a site straight ahead. It says 502. That's an odd number. I don't know how we got there. 16 on my right. Again, these are non-electric. This one over here is kind of up the hill into your site, not the most level. This one's got sort of pine needle entrance. All nicely isolated for the most part from their neighbors. Some of the center ones seem a little clustered together, but the outside you seem to have space from your neighbors. These are all fairly filled up. This weekend this campground will be full, but it is now only 12:30 and check-in isn't until 3. So some people may still be checking out. 28 on my right, 29 on my left is actually fairly large. 29 goes way back in there, so lots of room there. second loop. Now between these two loops, there's an access path down to the beach. And then I am hitting the last loop here. So this whole section in Blue Water Bay Campground, they're all small tent sites, no electric. You can do a pop-up tent, maybe a truck camper or a van, nothing much more than that. So that is the essence of this campground. We're going to jump up into the next set, which is Sandstone Ridge. Now between the first two campgrounds, there's this road that takes us down to the beach. So let's go take a look at that. As I'm passing through here, I'm realizing I'm passing the group campsites that are just behind the camp post that back up to the road that goes down to the beach. Alright, now we're down by the beach. Looks like it's actually fairly clear today. Let's get out and take, well, I'm going to just keep driving around for now. Plenty of parking down here too. We'll go take a look at Sandstone Ridge Campground. This is also the road down to the boat launch. Let's see how this one is laid out. It is laid out completely different. So we have a main road that comes down the middle. Side road off to boat launch, and there are some sites right off of this main road like this, and they have electric hookup. We got our vault toilet over there. So these are not huge, but decent size with electrical hookup. Back in sites. So this is catering to different kind of camping. Now it looks like they have their own shower facility here in this campground. So if you're looking for hookups for electric, this is the section you want. Okay, 67 through 72. Let's go see what this loop looks like. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have sort of a center play area here. Not huge sites, but if you need your small RV trailer to have power, this is a good option. You can see this site here, right on the edge of a cliff here, so don't go wandering in the middle of the night. See what the other areas are like. Again, this is still very wooded. There's a mid-size RV over here. Fits in here. Oh, we got ourselves a full-size one over here. So you can get some big ones, but also got a little teardrop or a T&B there. A variety of neighbors down here. Got a pop up on my right. Now it gets a little terrainy here. I'm going down a pretty steep hill here. I got the water just off to my right, so there's no sights over there. That's a little steep to back into at 84. Down here, I believe, what do we got? A little parking area that'll take you down to the beach from this particular campground. A lot of people who are here have brought their kayaks and canoes. And there was a site down on the end that looked like that was the guy who was going to collect all the kayaks for a group that are going to probably scattered throughout. He was the designated, you store the canoe so we can easily take it down to the water site. Now, it looks like not all of these sites have electric. There are some that don't, which I assume will save you a few bucks if that's not important to you. The one now, we're back into electric land. We got some deep woods now. Big gap between spots here. Okay, I'm going to go down the loop for 201 through 204. See what those are like. 99 is to my left, and that is just a tent site. You have to park outside. Ah, these are all tent sites. We just have a parking area and walk-in tent sites out here. A range of options here in this campground. Continue around here. I'm at 98. Give you a reference point. That just looks like a utility building. Some nice little sites here. Nothing too large. Good for your pop-up tents, pop-up campers, or little teardrops. Or just a tent. That brings me back to the main road coming in for this. So that was essentially what Sandstone Ridge Campground looks like. It's a mix of electric sites for RVs. Some of those sites, it doesn't look like you'd want to get your RV much further than it is because it gets pretty steep. And there are non-electric sites as well as tent walk-in sites. Let's go check out the next one. Okay, so Cliffwoods Campground is really just continuation of the main road beyond. I am currently at the end cul-de-sac loop by the ADA cabin right in front of me. It's a barrier-free cabin. We've got quite a few dual sites where you rent it with a friend. So they're set up where you can't just rent one site, you have to rent two. They have electric. They seem to be able to handle fair-sized rigs in here. So you could have fifth wheels or pop-ups or just some large family gatherings, but they do have electric. And it's kind of off on the edge of the campground here, off by the trail to Echo Rock. You can see I got a full-size Class A to my right, Echo Rock Trail. Some other trails kind of meander through here to the other parts of the campground. I'm going to make a little loop back around here after we go over the speed bump. Alright, there is a little separate section here. Let's see what this is like. 23, 24, and 25 campsites. Kind of on a little side road. These are non-electric sites. See that? Very basic in the woods and a little more isolated than some of the others. So we're far from the water up here. So if you're looking to be easy access to the water, these aren't your sites. And this particular campground per se doesn't seem to have its own shower facility. The other ones did. It does have looks like a bathroom that is not just a vault toilet, but I don't think it has showers. You'll have to go drive over to one of the other sections for that. Alright, so these are the kind of sites they have up here right off the main road. You've got a way to park over there and over there. And I'll show you on the other side. So people have some fifth wheels going like that. So over here, we got a pair of fifth wheels sharing a paired site with power. So that's the campground tour. The 3 different areas of Mirror Lake State Park camping. There are a lot of sites here and a good variety of facilities and price ranges depending on what you need. There are also lots of wonderful trails, and across the road there are also some great bike trails that I'm gonna go see about checking out now. Alright, give you a quick sense here. Come in the park down here at the entrance station. Came in, went up, came through this first section, hitting all the little loops here in the Blue Water Bay campground. Went back out. There are 3 group campgrounds that are just off the camp host. Then we went around, we took the quick road down to the beach here, and there are trails down to the beach from the other campgrounds. Went back up. All of these are non-electric sites. Come up here, a good chunk of the sites up top are electric in the Sandstone Ridge. Then note it does drop off pretty dramatically here on terrain, so it could be hard to get a bigger rig down around this section. But it also makes it closer to the beach. And then came back up. There are some walk-in sites up in here as well. Came back up around, and then up in the Cliffwoods campground, there is the series of dual sites where you rent 2 sites. Some small little campsites out there, the ADA cabin over here, and just a couple more on the edge here. There's also a boat landing over here, and then Mirror Lake going through. Now I'm going to show you the entire park map, because this is just the campground. Alright, so here's the rest of the park. So that's the campground section. You can see the whole lake coming down through here and continuing on. There are hiking trails across the way there, but across the road, Ferndale Road, there are a whole bunch of bike trails. I'm going to go check those out, but I'm going to come down and probably park down here and check out Pulpit Rock Trail. Okay, thought I would start at the park headquarters there and try this nice easy bike trail. Well, I got part way out. It's a zigzag and a little up and down, but there was a spot over here, and they try to where it's wet and muddy. They put down a lot of wood chips to get through, but there was a spot in here climbing a hill in that corner where it was soft sand, and my thin little tires were having none of that, and just spinning my wheels trying to get up the hill. I did manage to do it. I got to about here, and then suddenly I realized, hey, there's a road. It's 94 degrees right now. I was tired enough, and I decided, forget it, come back. So I took the road back, took the easy way. I just don't have the right tires for that kind of terrain, and that's the easy one. So these are more of a mountain bike trails, not trails. So I guess I'll be staying more on the pack gravel and that kind of thing. Now as I exit here, because they have so many bike trails, they actually have a bike lane on this road as we're exiting to get you out to those trails. So we actually have to kind of exit the park, but the bike trails are straight ahead to the right and to the left. Now just down the street, and actually on Mirror Lake, is the Seth Peterson Cottage. This cottage, it's actually part of the Wisconsin DNR. You can rent it to stay in it. It is private when it is in use. You cannot go visit it. There are open houses second Sunday of every month, but you can rent this cottage on Mirror Lake, and it is a Frank Lloyd Wright design home. Well, I'm going to end this one here. I'm up at Pulpit Rock, which after they put in their safety measures makes it hard to get to where you can really see, because they don't want you out there because it is straight down. So Mirror Lake State Park, just outside of the Wisconsin Dells. You don't just come here usually for the park. If you're just going for a park, you'd probably wind up somewhere else. But this one allows you to be in nature, to enjoy the woods. You got some nice trails. You got wonderful little kayaking back here down the lake. You can snake around in different little inland places, and kind of enjoy the Dells portion of it, which are these deep bluffs. So you can enjoy that on a quieter level. Most people, when they come to the Dells, they're hitting the jet boats and things like that, and that's a completely different experience, and you don't want to take your kayak where the jet boats are going to be. So you can enjoy the deep bluffs and the deep ravines and the rock formations off of Mirror Lake on your kayak. You can enjoy the bike trails. And if you want to put in a day or two at the water parks, you can just hop into town and do it, and get back here at night and hunker down in a nice quiet spot in the woods. All right, get back out there. Oh, and if you like what I'm doing here, if you find it useful that I am showing you the campgrounds in ways that you can't find elsewhere, see what the campgrounds are like, get more in-depth detail, as well as the other places I'm visiting and sharing experiences on, please like this video or any of the other ones I've done, and subscribe to the channel. It not only helps you see what's going on and future ones I'll be doing, but it also helps others find them. I want other people to know about these Wisconsin state parks. I want them to be able to get out and enjoy it, and that would really help out. So thanks a lot.